now we will broadcast for you the news in English on Radio Free Syria.
Welcome to our news hour from Radio Free Syria. I am MarwanKADRO and I will be with you during this news hour. We will start with the headlines. Local coordination committees in Syria. By the end of Friday, the LCC managed to document 121 martyrs, including 2 women, 9 children, and 1 under torture. 42 martyrs were reported in Damascus and its suburb, 32 in Aleppo, 21 in Homs, 12 in Dar'a, 8 in Idlib, 3 in Hama, 2 in Deir ez-Zor, and 1 in Raqqa. The local coordination committees also documented 394 points that were targeted by shells across Syria, including 19 points that were shelled by warplanes, 1 point using cluster bombs, and 1 point with phosphoric bombs, and 1 with explosive barrels. 165 points with heavy caliber artillery, 133 points were shelled with mortar, and 83 points with rockets. The Free Syrian Army clashed with the regime forces in 135 locations. In Kafr Zeta and Hama, the FSA repelled the attempts of the regime's army to shell the village. In Zamalka, the FSA successfully destroyed an Unite military convoy. We will start with Damascus and its suburbs. The Assad forces have entered the neighborhood of Maidan as they have arrested several civilians. Meanwhile, a massive explosion has been heard in Al-Amara neighborhood as another explosions have been heard in Rukn al-Din. Heavy battles between the Free Syrian Army and the Assad forces in the neighborhood of Jobar as the Assad forces have used tanks and heavy artillery to shell the area. Moving to the suburbs of Damascus, heavy battles between the Free Syrian Army and the Assad forces as the last one is trying to enter the city of Khan Sheikh in the western Ghouta. Moreover, heavy shelling on Al-Fadl neighborhood in Judaydat Ardouz as heavy shelling continued on Daraya and Mu'addamit al-Sham using rocket launchers and heavy artillery. In the provinces of Aleppo and Idlib, 12 civilians were executed by the Assad forces in the village of Junayd in Aleppo's countryside. Heavy battles between the Free Syrian Army and the Assad forces in the neighborhood of Beni Zayd as the Assad forces have bombarded As-Sabil neighborhood in Aleppo. Heavy battles also in Khan Sheikhoun in Idlib's countryside, as also heavy battles in the city of Idlib continue. Moving to Homs, 4 people have been killed as other injured due to the heavy shelling on the old neighborhoods of Homs and Jobar and Bab Amr and Al-Sultaniya. Meanwhile, heavy battles between the Free Syrian Army and the Assad forces in the neighborhood of Jobar and Al-Burj, which resulted in several soldiers killed of the Assad forces. In Dar'a, the Assad tanks have shelled Busra al-Harir, which resulted in a martyr and several injuries as home buildings have been destroyed. Meanwhile, heavy shelling on Inkhil and Tafas, which resulted in dozens of injuries among civilians. In Deir ez-Zor, the Free Syrian Army was able to capture several Assad soldiers. Moreover, the FSA have declared that they have taken control on Al-Huwayqa neighborhood, as the Assad forces have shelled the area as they used tanks and mortars. Also, heavy bombardments on Al-Hamidiyya and the village of Al-Tabaqa. Moreover, bombardments have reached, like said before, the city of Tabaqa from the military airport of Tabaqa, which is near to Deir ez-Zor. Political news now. The American Foreign Minister John Kerry has said that the American government will start a new diplomatic solution for the crisis in Syria, as the United States still rejects the plan of supporting the rebels with weapons. Moreover, the United Nations have declared that there is hope in ending the massacre that is going on in Syria, as they support Muaz al-Khatib, as he declared that he will be ready to start a dialogue with representatives of the regime for Assad to leave. The French President François Hollande said that the European Union will not support the Syrian rebels with weapons, as there is still possibility for a diplomatic solution. He added that they will support the rebels with weapons only when there is no diplomatic solution possible. It seems like the Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad is not popular at all in Egypt, as he was attacked for the third time during his visit to Egypt. He was attacked by an Egyptian civilian near to the Iranian embassy as he was angry with Ahmadinejad for the fact that the Iranian government are still supporting the Assad regime. This was it for today. Thank you very much for listening. I am Marwan Kadro. Along with me, Executive Manager Islam Al-Idilbi. Please follow us on freesyriaradio.webs.com. You can also reach us through Skype on Syrian Free 42. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Right now, we will broadcast for you the news in English on Radio Free Syria.